Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Perfect.
We are
Absolutely.
live.
We are live.
Live. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Do you know, this is the last one of the year, isn't it?
It's the last one of the year.
It occurred to me, actually, that what we should have done, and obviously we've done it this one for a particular reason, but what we should have done was we should have had a review of maybe our dozen best tracks over the year.
Why don't we make that our first show back?
We could do that.
We just decide stuff. Go and ask the boss. Oh, that's right. It's your show.
Well, it's our show. I think you'll find.
Yeah.
So hello everybody. Welcome to That Album. It's the last That Album of 2022.
Boo.
So in the previous show, what did we do?
It was my choice. So it was thank you very much, Eric. That's very good of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. What was the last one we did? It was Gorillaz.
Gorillaz, of course it was. Which was brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And I had decided that I was going to do my hardcore folk album.
Yes.
But then that week, Christine McVie died.
Yeah.
And Maddie, my daughter, said, you need, which Fleetwood Mac album are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Better do a Fleetwood Mac album. And actually, I found this really difficult because I couldn't decide whether or not I should suggest Tango in the Night, or whether or not I should suggest Fleetwood Mac, which obviously is quite close to Rumours. And I've been kind of kicking myself that we didn't do the other album because, Monday Morning, Warm Waves, Rhiannon, Say You Love Me, Landslide. I mean, it's just like some mega songs on it.
But you can do that with Big Love, Seven Wonders, Tango in the Night, Little Lies. You do any of their albums, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I would put the album on again, and I'd go, actually, this. Well, so I said Tango in the Night is the album we're going to do. So, Eric, what did you think of Tango in the Night?
What did I think of Tango in the Night? So I think in the modern world, in the developed world, I think there can't be many people who haven't heard a track off this album, right? It was big news from a huge big band. There's Ian said he's just been watching The Dance. What a group. If you know a bit about the band, you wonder how on earth they ever made an album.
Yeah. Oh,
it's so toxic. Physically and mentally toxic. Their relationship with substances and themselves is incredible. This for me was a joy this week. I had this on just about every day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. I don't think every single track is like the best track you've ever heard, but Tango in the Night is a beast of a record.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's funny, isn't it? Because I don't think there is a weak track on the album.
Right.
Like Rumours, there isn't a weak track on it. There's some you like more than others.
Yeah.
There's nothing on here where you go, that's not actually a very good track.
I think what we are talking about here is splitting real hairs, because a filler track from any other band on an album would be like, oh, that's a stinker. But when you're like, okay, Mystified, that might be a little bit. You're talking. It's still super high watermark.
I would take the crappiest track they've ever done. I would be well happy if I could have ever done that.
What's your band like? Well, we're like Fleetwood Mac at their crappiest. Oh, you must be pretty good then.
And do you know what's really interesting about this album? That I think, and I said to Maddie the other day, the thing that is really, I would say that this for me is the only possible band that could rival the Beatles for quality of music. And I think what's really interesting about this, unlike the Beatles, because the Beatles all went on this transformation and transition together through their 10 years of making music, And Lennon and McCartney were effectively the same person as a songwriter, and Harrison and Starr didn't do that much stuff, but all of the songs were broadly similar. Here, we've got three such diverse songwriting talents.
Oh my goodness.
And like every time you go, yeah, well, the thing is, Buckingham is the best, isn't he?
No,
Clearly, he's the best.
No, it's Stevie.
No, it's Christine McVie. And just every time they do something, you think, yeah, actually, this is the best one. And
so on your statement about the only band that can rival the Beatles for quality, because we are friends, I'm allowed to say I think that's unadulterated tosh, but that's for another show.
That is for another show. So this album came out in 1987.
It did.
Do you know what else came out in 1987?
What came out in 1987?
Telford.
Telford.
Telford, the town in Shropshire, was created. Prince Edward.
Seriously?
Yeah, Prince Edward left the Marines after 3 months. Terry Waite disappeared in Beirut. BA floated. The Herald of Free Enterprise. My best friend drowned on that. The British ferry capsized. British Rail renamed second class standard class.
Really?
Living Daylights was released. Ford bought Aston Martin. Black Monday. The first of the Acid House raves happened. And perhaps the high point for everybody culturally in the Western world is Never Gonna Give You Up, was released by Rick Astley.
Absolutely. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around or desert you.
Yeah.
Never going to do that. Wow. Well, lots of things going on in 87. So
and Andy Murray, that well-known English tennis player, was born.
He's British when he wins. He's Scottish.
Scottish when he loses.
Yes, that's right. We've grown to know how these things work on the British Broadcasting Corporation. Tango in the Night is, you ready for this? 14th studio album.
Okay, hold on. Let's just chew on that for a moment. 14th studio album from a group of people that would rather plunge daggers into one another's necks than actually do something together
in the same room. Yeah, exactly.
And this was actually the last album that they all did together, wasn't it? With this,
correct. This was the last album in the traditional sort of, could you say the Rumours lineup? I guess you could. Yeah. I guess you could. And it's quite fitting that we're doing this at the end of the year because this is the band that started this show. We started with Rumours, did we not?
We did. It was the first ever album that we covered.
How many of these shows have we done today?
This is number 52.
52.
We've been running for more than a year because obviously we've had some time off. But yeah, the 52nd one of these.
52.
The full list of broadcasts is available upon request.
Right, fair enough. I actually had a request to start a little company page and put them all in order.
That's a good idea.
Great idea. And then we could use the company page.
Whose idea was that?
It was someone from the Burrito who's into music. Who was it? Can't remember. No, it wasn't Andrew. It'll come to me, but yeah, someone said, can you start a company page and just put them on in order so that they're all there and we can watch them all? Maybe something we'll think about, or maybe something you'll think about over.
Yeah, maybe. I'm glad I had that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Tango in the Night is the 14th studio album by British-American rock band Fleetwood Mac, released on the 13th of April, 1987. It's the fifth and final studio album from the band's most successful lineup, as we just said, Buckingham, Fleetwood, McVie, Nicks, following Buckingham's departure later that year. Though the band's 2003 album Say You Will includes limited contributions from Christine. She was kind of like phasing out. Produced by Buckingham. It was actually a Buckingham solo project.
It was to begin with, wasn't it? Yeah, well, some of the tracks were, and they convinced him to come back in, didn't they?
Correct.
And then they said, yeah, do you want to put those on the album? And he went, all right then.
Yeah, absolutely. He kind of like, he asked Christine and Mick and John to come in and help him out with some tracks. And while they're all there, we're like, oh, this is all right, isn't it? This is all right. So did anyone thought about calling Stevie? Thought about calling.
She that shall not be named.
She that shall not be named. So it contains several hit singles, including 4 US top 20 hits, Big Love, Seven Wonders, Little Lies, and Everywhere. 2 additional songs, Family Man and Isn't It Midnight, were released as singles to lower chart success. Tango in the Night has sold over 15 million copies worldwide. In March of 2017, the remastered deluxe editions of Tango in the Night were released, a first double CD set. So we're just going to be playing the the traditional 12-track album today, but on the deluxe version, even on iTunes, you get this monster with all these remixes and live versions and all of that. The cover art for the album is a painting by Australian artist Brett Livingston Strong. It was hanging in.
Sorry,
we've looked at the same websites.
We have, yes.
Actually,
you didn't, did you? You saw that when you were around at Lindsay's house.
Lindsay's house, yeah, absolutely. Is that Tango in the Night? Yeah, that's by Brett Livingston Strong. He's an Australian artist. It's an homage to the 19th century Henri Rousseau, emulating colourful jungle themes and all of that. If you know Rousseau's work, he paints in that very sort of like childlike style, but very vivid. So he's Fleetwood Mac's lead guitarist and sometimes lead vocalist and songwriter. Described the making of Tango in the Night as the worst recording experience of my life. Stevie Nicks was addicted to the tranquilizer Klonopin and spent just 2 weeks in the studio out of an 18-month production. Drummer Mick Fleetwood had declared bankruptcy a few years prior and was still very much loving his drugs. Buckingham said half the time Mick was falling asleep on the drum kit. Well, none of them could truly claim they were indulging their vices. Everyone was at their worst, including myself, said Buckingham. We'd made the progression from what could be seen as acceptable or a half-excusable amount of drug use to a situation where we had all hit the wall. I think it was our darkest period.
Which is amazing, isn't it? Because when we did the first album, we were saying, oh my God, how on earth did they manage to function? This must have been their darkest period. And actually, no, that was one of their better periods.
Yeah, that was just extreme drug addiction and violent relationships. But other than that, everything was cool. Everything was cool.
Yes.
So, the album, it was their second biggest selling studio album after Rumours, which was released, I think, 10 years earlier in, would that be 77? Then Tusk 79, Mirage 1982. Yeah. Let me see. The album was a huge success in the United States, where it peaked at number 7 for 3 weeks, spending more than 7 months within the top 20 and more than 10 months within the top 40. It was certified 3 times platinum in 2000 for selling 3 million copies in the US. The singles were massive. The band were massive. Just absolutely huge. The singles were huge. Number ones all over the world and all of that. You know, just like extreme rock star stuff.
Yeah, interestingly, they didn't play this first song, Big Love, didn't play this live until 1997 when they reunited with Buckingham for the tour, for the dance tour.
They're absolutely right. Lindsay describes it as a lustful mid to up tempo number featuring love grunts. These grunts which get Yeah, it's not going to be the same song if you and I do it, is it?
Do you not reckon?
I don't think so.
I reckon we should cover this.
So they sound like these grunts, which get aggressive more through the song, sound like they're coming from two different people, but they're both Buckingham. To simulate the female voice, he processed these vocals through a variable speed oscillator. Many listeners, like me until I found this out, thought it was Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, but knowing them as you now know them, you never really would have thought that, would you?
Absolutely. This is when they play this live and they're all together in the original lineup. This is when Stevie Nicks goes away, grabs her lace petticoats and just sort of sashays and dances around in the background, almost in a little protest, perhaps.
Yeah. So this song, the thing that struck me when you first put the needle on the groove for this is, it's such sophisticated songwriting. Looking out for love in the night so still. Oh, I'll build you a kingdom in that house on the hill. It's just beautiful lyrics, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say potentially we should get a. In fact, I think I have one. Just bear with me. Just a BS warning, a music BS warning. Where is it? Let me see. No, I don't.
Do you not have a?
I'll do that. That's the best I can do right now. That's the best I can do. But I think Here we go. I'm cringing saying it. I think this sounds like it was written by a guitar player.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
I think it sounds like a guitar player's song. That it sounds like it.
It's like an updated version of Never Going Back, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The same kind of guitar triplets going on.
Yep, absolutely. So this, after a year and a half of working hard to get this together, in that year and a half, Stevie turned up for 2 weeks because she was quite ill. Some say, the Stevie Nicks connoisseurs say that on this album, on her contributions to this album, particularly on like Seven Wonders, that you can tell she's strained. I don't know. We'll listen to that later. But this is track 1. Shall we go?
Let's go.
Straight in.
So still, oh, how build you a kingdom in that house on the hill, looking out for love, big, big love. You said that you love me.
I often feel when I hear this that you're in, it's like, we've said it a few times, some albums you listen to and you know you're in good hands right away.
Yeah.
This is going to be okay.
And watching them, when you watch the YouTube clips of them playing, they're just so tight. Everyone is just so nailed down. No one feels the need to show off.
No.
Making music.
Mm-hmm.
Thing you hear, would you rate him as a guitar player?
Oh yeah,
he's terrific, right?
Have you seen that thing where he's doing the lecture tour?
Yes,
and
have.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh my god, that's incredible, isn't it?
It's for me, it's mind-boggling because I'm no guitarist. I mess around with the guitars. You're a proper guitarist, so I always hate saying
proper's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I always hate saying, "Oh, he's such a fantastic guitarist," and you're like, yeah. But you agree on this one.
He's fantastic.
Afternoon, Jim. It's the way that he plays acoustic guitar or electric guitar, but he can play it like it's a banjo. I think that's quite incredible what he does, and he's able to sing and do all of that. So what do you get here? What do you get? You get the never too flashy, kind of restrained, minimalistic drums from Fleetwood. You get the unbelievably solid bass line rhythm section from your man, who's incredible, absolutely incredible.
Well, you glossed over Mick Fleetwood. You know, he's. I read something about it where somebody said, I don't think you could ever imagine him doing a drum solo, because that's not the sort of thing that he does. However, he is one of the best drummers I have ever seen. This guy that was
he's like metronome.
Absolutely spot on. No flash stuff, just really solid. And it was when he was with Peter Green, when they first started their first band together, that Green said to him, you need to learn to be able to follow the lead guitarist. And you can see that here. You know, it's like you've got the guitar at the top, you've got the drums at the bottom, and the two just pull everything with them. It's just magnificent to hear.
Absolutely. And the combination of Fleetwood and John McVie, it's like everything's in safe hands. The rhythm section is going to be super tight throughout this. You guys can layer over vocals and keyboards and guitars and all of that, because this is going to be solid. And it's like they all know that. It's like a safety net, right?
Yeah.
So that is Big Love.
That's Helen, incidentally, I'm sure.
Helen Mackenzie.
Wyverns.
Oh, right. Okay. Hi, Helen. How are you? And then we, as you always get, because of the songwriting prowess of this bunch of people, we flip from one songwriting style to another. So the next track where we come in is a Stevie Nicks-ish track. It was written by Sandy Stewart, and Nicks is credited for additional lyrics because she wasn't particularly well at this point in her life. She wasn't particularly well, let's face it.
No, but I think what's amazing about her songwriting, certainly her performance, is the absolute necessity for a lyrics sheet. Because her diction is, as Maddie and I often joke about this, her diction is the worst possible. It's almost impossible to hear what she's singing, isn't it?
No, she's got very good diction, but what she does is she puts 2 Highland toffees in her teeth, and then before she sings a song.
Ah, right. Now it makes perfect sense. So long ago, certain place, certain time, you touched my hand on the way down to Emmeline. But if our paths never cross, well, you know I'm sorry, but if I ever live to see 7 wonders, I'll make a path to the rainbow's end. I'll never live to match the beauty again, the rainbow's edge. So now you know what it says. Everyone should be able to sing along with this, shouldn't they?
Yeah, so here's 7 wonders. Insert 2 Highland toffees in here.
And away we go.
Yep. Her and Caleb from Kings of Leon use the same singing style.
Did you see the documentary about them that was on? Like,
is that the one that Ian's talking about, the dance? Could be.
Maybe. I forget what it was, but they were talking about how when, at that point, Peter Green had left, and it was Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, and Christine McVie in a studio, and Lindsey Buckingham was invited to come and audition.
Yeah.
And he rocked up and he said, yeah, great, I'd love to be part of the band, but only if my girlfriend comes with me, who was Stevie Nicks at the time. So they're like, oh, all right then. Well, we've been working on this song, and they started to play the song, and they said, obviously Christine McVie was singing, and then Buckingham and Nicks both just came in instantly and harmonised in their unique way with the song. And they just went, okay, well, that's sorted then, isn't it?
That's sorted, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This song is about a moment in time so special that nothing will ever approach its beauty. Stevie sings, if she ever gets to see the 7 wonders, it won't match this moment. Her lyrics were added and altered and improvised in the studio. The line that you just said, all the way down to Emmeline, she misheard Sandy Stewart's original demo, which was all the way down to the end of the line.
Right.
But she makes it Emmeline, and that just adds it into it, because she is the fairy queen, right? She's the queen of the fairies, right? She's like the gothic fairy princess, and that all, everybody's like, oh, Emmeline, right? That must be some sort of book from the 1700s that she's read. Yeah, absolutely. No, she's just out of her mind on chloroquine.
And this is true. It wouldn't be the same if it was covered by somebody that sang it differently to her
absolutely. She could sing the phone book for me, and I'd still find it interesting. I had a serious crush on her anyway, but some of them, yeah, absolutely, still do. Some have said she's not a great singer. She makes a great noise. I don't care what it is. I think she sounds terrific. I think she sounds absolute. She's done something recently with a very modern artist, where she's done a collaboration with a very modern artist. I'll need to look that up. I don't know exactly who that was, but that was 7 Wonders. We'll have a wee bit more of 7 Wonders, shall we? Because it's quite a good one. Let's just take it from about the middle.
Because there aren't many good ones on this album.
No. anyone else added a little guitar response to any, Rainbow's Edge and then went dare 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 dare, that sounded like that, it sounds like Fleetwood Mac. It sounds like Lindsey Buckingham, doesn't it? It's him. It's him. It's him. It's him. It's him.
Absolutely, it's a perfect way to enjoy this, isn't it? Just sitting back, chilling out, Friday afternoon, relaxing,
listening to a classic album. So that was track number 2. We're now on to track number 3, Everywhere.
Yes, written by my true love.
Your true love. It's not their biggest hit, but it's one of their most enduring songs. It's so, as one critic said, so darn singable.
Yeah, absolutely. And quite interesting that it re-entered the top 20 in 2013 after it was soundtrack and advert for the UK cell phone provider 3.
Yeah.
Just saying. So people went, oh yeah, that's that band from the 80s, isn't it?
That band from the 80s.
I think I'll buy that.
So this is our first little tribute to Christine today.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say. I'll speak a little louder, I'll even shout. You know that I'm proud and I can't get the words out. I wanna be with you everywhere.
One of the things that I love about watching them perform songs like this is they're not shy on taking like the magnificent Stevie Nicks will become a backing singer on this, and he's quite happy to do that.
Yeah.
Like Christine McVie, who is a songwriting wonder, a singing.
I'm quite happy to sit at the back behind the keyboards. That's okay.
Quite happy to sit at the back behind the keyboards and add an ooh or whatever. Not too prissy, not too precious.
Yeah.
I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere.
Because I'm married to a Strictly Come Dancing addict who knows all the dances, and we'll hear a song. She's got me doing it. Which dance would this song
Can you hear me calling out your name?
Thinking a quick step maybe, or an American smooth.
And I don't know what to say.
Chug-a-lug rhythm, of course. Yes, it's like a little train just chugging along.
You better make it soon before you break my heart. I wanna be with you everywhere.
Just roughed, yeah, absolutely. But on that chug-a-lug rhythm, John McVie, very talented bass player, he just goes dum 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 for the whole song.
Yeah.
Simple, happy to do it, brilliant, nothing fancy. He doesn't have to go off and go dear.
None of that going on.
A rumba, of course, yeah. Get the hips going, yeah, without a doubt. I'm doing a rumba now. You just can't see it. I've got such good isolation.
Like a Michael Flatley, but with your hips.
Michael Flatley, I'm going crazy downstairs. My hips don't lie. My hips do not lie. So that was. I'm glad we're back. This feels great.
It does. And
Yeah.
what a great album to be doing as well.
Terrific. The next one is track number 4 on the original format of the album. This is a heavily impressionistic, mysterious ode to Caroline.
It is. But what's really interesting is that, as we said when we did the first album, that they have a different way of dealing with the highs and lows of love. These people, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Lindsey Buckingham with Never Going Back.
Yep.
Let's focus on all of the bad things that happened, and we'll talk about those to kind of catharsis of getting those out. And then we got Christine McVie, who's writing about how happy it is, what a lovely time I had. We're finished now, but it was lovely while it lasted. So
and Lindsey Buckingham spewing out vitriol.
She's so crazy, she's so lazy, keeps on coming, keeps you running. I mean, it's he's not a very happy soul, really, is he?
No, and when you listen to the interviews with him, he is. I don't know if it's an impact of long nights in studios and substances, but he's a special person. He's quite touched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's quite out there. This has got heavy kind of grit to it, sexual intensity, and some have said a Dave Gilmour-ish kind of guitar solo at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I remember this when this was in the charts, and listening to it, thinking it's a very compelling song, isn't it? But but quite. I think it's unique, isn't it? There's no other song like this.
No, this is Caroline. Around a campfire in the jungle, maybe?
I'm a celebrity.
I'm a celebrity. And we have to drink some weird potion. Yeah. Our resident Stevie Nicks specialist with some facts there. I love that.
So crazy, she's so lazy, keeps on coming, keeps you running. Caroline.
Oh, wow, a Fleetwood Mac
Nice.
band. Brilliant. Listening whilst getting into my groove.
Time recedes with a little drop. Just keep going on the mountain top. Cut the cord if you can. Caroline.
Let's get a bit of that guitar solo, shall we? It's only got 30 seconds left. We'll just let it ride on.
Yes.
Wow. Casbah time, yeah. I missed the solo. I missed the flipping solo. Where is it? I'm not going to be able to find it.
Yeah, don't worry. I love the fact that Andrew's been listening to this week, and I can't believe that a man that is so into his music cannot have crossed paths with Fleetwood Mac before now. But
I know. I hope he's enjoying it. He said he was. He said he was sitting there. I'm wondering if this is. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Anyway, so we head then on into track number 5, which is the title track.
Yeah.
The title track, Tango in the Night, captures Buckingham's mastery at creating sonic atmospheres that shifts from calm to restive in a sort of heavy melange of rumination. I wrote that myself.
I know you did. I know you did, because I've got a similar thing here on my film. No, I haven't actually. So I you could well have written that yourself. It sounds like your sort of narrative to tell.
It does. It does. I use the word melange and rumination quite well and quite often. I think this is great because it turns what is essentially a simple pop song, a soft pop song, into a sort of like very serious, almost like guitar opera. It's pretty huge. Great percussive arrangements. This is the title track, Tango in the Night.
Listen to the wind on the water. sleep, sleep won't come. Just as I begin to fade, then I remember, oh, when the moon was full and bright, and I would take you in the darkness to the tango in the night.
Not sure if it's a harp. That's a good question.
Guitar. No, it sounds more like an auto harp or a dulcimer.
Oh yeah, of course, dulcimer. You should know you have one in the house. Do you not?
Yeah, it's just up there.
The dulcimer. There it is.
An Appalachian dulcimer.
Yeah, your favourite.
Never let it fade away. Inside, outside. No loneliness in this dream.
From soft to heavy, here we go.
Then I'll remember when the moon was full and bright. I would take you in the darkness.
You can just see the witch dancing around behind him, can't you? In the smoke,
You
in the
can.
lights. Yeah. Well held, Lindsay.
Yeah. So you can sing as well as play the guitar and write songs.
Definitely can. That was track number 5. Absolutely love that, and it's haunting and mysterious and typically Buckinghamish with its light and dark. We're now into track number 6, Mystified. Any thoughts or notes on Mystified?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's not typical Christine McVie, but it's quite relaxing and
the lap harp.
Hold on, you're the man that didn't know anything about them until yesterday, and now all of a sudden it's like I love this. I love the fact that the audience knows so many things and can discover so many things.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. So it's a lap harp. There we go, folks. It's a lap harp. So any notes on Mystified?
Yeah, it's lovely. I can't remember how that happened. McVie said about how this song was created. It morphed somehow between us because it's her and Buckingham that did this. So the co-write was Fair Dues. Mystified wasn't released as a single, but was used as the B-side of the 1988 single Isn't It Midnight?
Right. Cool.
This feeling I just can't hide. You got me mystified. Pretty darling, this feeling is deep inside. You got me mystified.
It's almost like you can see the cars drawn up to the 50s prom.
The light that shines around.
I think it's really funny that Buckingham was involved in this because I think at any point he was like, right, Christine, what we could do is just crash in and do sing about pestilence.
Calm down,
She's an utter cow, Christine. She's a cow. She's ruining my life. All right. It's all right. We're going to do a nice song, Lindsay. It's okay. And relax.
This feeling is deep inside.
So that is Mystified. It's a lovely song.
Right, so this next one is really unusual, isn't it? Because if you didn't know which of them wrote this, who would you say wrote it?
Right. Just from a complete Telling Lies. You would think McVie, Christine McVie.
Ah, you see, I wouldn't.
See, it's got that kind of like bubble. She does, for me, and I don't mean this in a derogatory sense, but she does light, bouncy, inoffensive bubblegum pop. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
she does the lovely light stuff. So Tell Me Lies
sounds like Stevie Nicks every time. I'll listen to this.
I would have put 100 quid on Christine McVie because it's got that lightness of touch.
Well, hold on, let me get my wallet, mate. So you win. So she wrote this with her then husband, Eddie Quintella.
Eddie Quintella.
Who she married in 1986, 7 months before the album was released. It's not a song you would expect two newlyweds to write. No. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Yeah. Imagine. So, hi, Eddie. So you've just asked me to get married. Let me tell you some stuff about my history and the history of our relationships in this band. Right. Okay. Fair enough. So this is, for me, I know Tango in the Night is the title track, but for me, this is the sound of Tango in the Night. When you said, let's do Tango in the Night, I heard this in my head.
Yeah.
I heard this in my head. This is Little Lies. And there was a time where this was everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Every cafe, every bar.
One of those ubiquitous songs,
yes,
that you couldn't get away from.
And everyone loved it. Your gran can tap her foot to it. The kids quite liked it. It was kind of cool.
If I could turn the page in time, then I'd rearrange just a day or two. Close my eyes.
So, Christine, what do you want me to do? I want you just to go, tell me lies. That's it. Perfect, Stevie. Put it out there. This is Michelin star pop perfection. It's not hardcore rock music. It's not complicated. It's not complex. This is like...
Oh, look at that. Isn't that a fantastic comment?
The sound of the 80s in soft focus.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Love that. She must have got the Rioja opened early.
Well, she read your notes.
Yeah. Lies. Nice one, Stevie.
Oh no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
It's excellent. It's excellent. 10 out of 10. Fantastic, well written, simple pop tune, but they add in. It's like a cheese sandwich made by Gordon Ramsay or Michelle Roux Jr. or something like that. Simple, perfect.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because we move on to the next track, Family Man, and I bet your initial thought about this was, I don't really know this track.
That's totally true.
There'll be several tracks on the album where you go, I don't really, and then you put it on, you go, oh yeah, I'll do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. A gentler composition with its simple lyric statement: "I am what I am, a family man."
Walk down this road when the road gets rough.
It's like you were in this room. I was like, I don't know Family Man. Oh yes, I totally do, and I was singing along to it.
Yeah.
Bass and the drums. That's Fleetwood Mac, isn't it? No. You can't just glaze over Just do a little solo there, Lindsay, will you? Just what's that style? Spanish? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, chuck it in. Because something about the tone of it is beautiful. It's when he goes down. Yeah, just chuck that in like it's nothing.
Yeah, and I think what's so lovely is that he's a very talented electric guitarist and a very talented steel strum guitarist, and clearly a very talented nylon strum guitarist as well.
Yeah.
And often there's not a lot of overlap between these in terms of style, and he segues perfectly from one to another. Just beautiful.
He gave the guitar tech back the Spanish guitar and took the Telecaster back, or yeah, absolutely. Lovely track. Lovely track, very 80s, very of a la mode.
Yeah. A la mode.
A la mode. A la mode. The next track, Isn't It Midnight? Another one co-written by...
No. Welcome to the room, Sarah.
Welcome to the room, Sarah. Sorry, how dare I? Welcome to the room, Sarah.
Is she going to come in for this?
I don't know if she's going to come in, because she might be in a Christmas onesie and might not want people to see her.
Right, okay. Because you could then turn and say... Welcome to the room, Sarah.
Welcome to the room, Sarah. Has to be understood in the context of the stint in rehab. Rehab. Welcome to the room, Sarah. Welcome back, Stevie Nicks. Madeline Gray must be loving this right now.
It's not home, and it's not terror. In fact, do I know you? Have I been here before? This is a dream, right?
Welcome to the room, Sarah.
Welcome to the room, Sarah. Did she just pop in, didn't she?
She did.
Oh, I see. Welcome to the room, Sarah. For starlight. Welcome to the fireside. Ooh, missionary.
What a voice.
Yeah. And those harmonies, just fantastic. Absolutely
incredible.
Fantastic.
And I like the way she's got this kind of stream of consciousness thing going on.
Yeah, a la Joni.
A la Joni. Hi, John. I love the fact that her voice, Stevie Nicks' voice, you can tell that's time served. That voice, that voice has seen a lot of the world and a lot of stuff. That's it has experience about it.
It does. What I love though is that they are all absolutely spot on in the middle of the nose. You would never, nowadays, if you haven't used auto-tune, well, it's a little bit pitchy. No, in our day, that was singing out of tune.
Yeah.
There's no singing out of tune going on with this band, no matter how complicated the harmonies.
Correct.
Well, I thought that you were mine. Welcome to the room, Sarah.
It's got a little bit of her voice in this track has got a little bit of Chrissy Hynde to it, hasn't it?
You think so? Yeah, you get that.
It was a problem.
I love people that you believe. I love,
Yeah.
on this where I'm like, I just don't believe them. It's, my goodness, you believe her, don't you? You believe her. You absolutely believe her.
They can all put a song over this bunch, can't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The next track, sorry, I jumped ahead before, is Isn't It Midnight?
No, not quite.
Not quite.
Although by the time we finished, it could be.
It could be. Yeah, we might run a little late. Well, we've only got 2 tracks left to go after this. Isn't It Midnight? Co-written by Quintella again, driving up tempo. Christine's great vocals. Yeah. So will we? Any notes about that?
The harmonies were beautiful while they stuck needles in each other's voodoo dolls.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't it midnight? Second official Fleetwood Mac song to be released on the 3-inch CD single format,
Ooh.
as well as being issued on a 7-inch and a 12-inch vinyl. All the formats included Tango in the Night track Mystified, and the CD in the 12-inch included the bonus track Say You Love Me from 1975, and Gypsy from 1982.
Cool.
This peaked at number 60 on 18th of June 1988. The song was performed better in Ireland, where the song performed better in Ireland, where it reached the top 30, peaking at number 23.
The way you read that there was that they played it really well in Dublin.
Yeah, absolutely. And who wouldn't? Let's be honest.
The song was performed much better in Ireland.
Well, just pause for a second.
Yep.
So just the lyrics. So cool, calm and collected. You had a style, a rakish style. Well, my poor heart never connected. You'd stay so long on my mind. Well, isn't it midnight on the other side of the world? Do you remember the face of a pretty girl? Just lovely. Lovely.
Yeah,
what's there not to like?
What's there not to like? Where Don Johnson's split up with the girl.
Yeah.
In the Testarossa with the
no. This is he's in the black Daytona.
The black Daytona.
Driving through the streets of Miami, out to his cigarette boat before he goes for a spin out into the.
Yeah. Lots of long, wistful stares into the camera. I could have done things another way. Tom Cruise on a motorbike with no helmet, angry.
Yeah.
The montage, the 80s montage. So that is. I love that little 80s transition.
Yeah.
Used by lots of bands, copied by lots and lots of bands. That little transition, that sort of new romantic 80s style.
Beautiful.
When I See You Again.
That'll be in the new year, won't it?
It will be, yeah, absolutely. Or maybe Monday, I'm not sure.
For our Christmas party.
Yeah, absolutely. Christmas jumpers and all that. So When I See You Again, Stevie wrote about some universal feelings of confusion, longing and fear, best expressed through the line, if she sees him again, will your very best friend have been replaced by some other?
What's the matter, baby?
What's the matter, baby? This is
baby.
What is the matter, baby? This is track number 11.
Will it be the same when I see you again? Will it be over when I see you again? Will your great eyes still say, what's the matter, baby? What's the matter, baby? What's the matter, baby? What's the matter? What's the matter, baby?
She's singing this to Lindsay, isn't she?
Yeah.
What's the matter, baby? What's the matter? What's the matter, baby?
Oh.
What's the matter, baby? Baby. So she walks slowly down the hall. There are many doors in the hallway, and she stares at the stairs. Ooh, there are many things to stare if she sees him again. Will your very best friend, will your very best friend, who have been replaced by some other.
I don't know any other singer that could make this as interesting as it is. It's very simple, right? But it's all about her and her voice and the pain and her life experience. The texture she brings to it could only be her.
What's the matter, baby?
Who else could sing this? Maybe Janis Joplin or something like that. Maybe could come. I don't know.
Someone that's certainly been through the mill.
Been through the mill. Yeah, this is a person
And
in
the
pain,
dream
right?
says I want you, and the dream is gone. So she stays up nights on the air. Well, at least there is a dream there.
You're listening to The Relaxation Hour with Adam and Eric. Sit back, relax.
So we would like to know, what's the matter, baby?
What's the matter, baby? Oh, you just bugger off, Lindsay. It's all your fault. So we get to the last track of the official listing of the original recording, which is You and I parts 1 and 2.
No, this is You and I part 2.
Part 2? So it is. Oh, sorry, I read that incorrectly.
Yeah, there is a You and I part 1, but it was only ever released as a single.
What?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter where you look for it, you can't find it unless you've got the original.
So upbeat and a fitting closer, featuring Lindsay Buckingham's usual piercing guitar tone. This is You and I Part 2. Not as I read it, Part 1 and Part 2.
It always reminds me of a Christmas song for some reason.
Yeah. The start reminds me, for anyone who knows Phoenix Nights, when Dave had a little tape recorder and he was standing at the front of the shop and he was singing, "Come and get your black bing bags, long and black and slender." I don't know when I hear this. That's maybe a kind of niche thing if anybody knows Phoenix Nights. Come and get your black bing
always
bags.
conjures up an image of somebody decorating a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I wake up,
Find presents under the tree.
eyes shut tight. Hoping tomorrow will never come. For you and I. All the phantoms crawl out of the night.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Community Watch.
Hoping the daylight will never come. For you and I. Keep your heart open.
Joe gets it. Heavy duty black bin bags. Sorry, I'm just going to have to do that again. Come and get your black bin bags.
Keep your heart open and your eyes.
We've just done Tango in the Night.
Oh, mate, what a fantastic album. What a fantastic album. Like I said, the funny thing is, as I was listening to it during the week, I kept going through that. Yeah, I don't really know this track. Oh, yeah, no, I do. You're quite right. And all of it is just so polished, so beautiful, so well thought through. Nobody trying to kind of steal the show. And I think in the documentaries that I've seen about them, this fantastic, we're all going to, all putting one of us in the tree right now. Yeah. It's everybody doing their bit and happy to defer when it's somebody else's turn to step forward and deliver that bit that they're known for.
Never overdoing it. Just beautifully poised. So,
and rightly so, they are regarded as one of the top bands.
And no question. Everyone should know about them. Lots of people do. And I hope the legacy lives on, even though we're losing some of them, which is awful.
Yeah, very sad.
Right, so that's it. We've done Tango in the Night. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. So we are splitting for the for Christmas and the New Year. When's our first show? Back.
What's the first reasonable Friday back? Is it the 6th or something? Should we do that one?
Sounds reasonable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I've got a couple of suggestions, but let me mulled wine on it.
Not as in Mull of Kintyre on it.
Not as in Mull of Kintyre, no. Even though some are rumours. I love that. And we'll put it out what we're doing, because I don't wanna I've got a couple of ideas. I don't know where to take it. But we will be back on, does it look like the 6th? Friday the 6th?
Hang on. Yes, Friday the 6th.
With our first album of the year to review, and we'll try and get a lot in. Send us some suggestions if you'd like us to consider some albums.
As long as it's not Hazel O'Connor.
As long as it's not Hazel O'Connor or Tommy.
or
Tommy. Rock operas or anything like that.
So you don't fancy revisiting War of the Worlds, for example? That wouldn't be one of your choices.
Or on the 6th, did we come back and do our little review show of our favourite tracks from our favourite albums that we've done?
From the first 52?
From the first 50, we could pick 5 each.
Yeah.
Let's think about it.
Yeah.
That's the joy of this time of the year. We don't have to rush into this.
We don't.
Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hope you have a great Christmas and New Year, or whatever it is that you say. Is that? Or Elton John? Yeah. I'd rather eat my own toes.
So thank you, everybody. What a lovely year. What a lovely way to round out the year. What a happy note to finish on. Well, happy for the listeners, not for the band putting it together, of course, as we know. But what a great year.
A great year. We've already got a request from Marquis Kane asking for Tangerine Dream. Let's think about that.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, very nice. Let's go all prog and spacey.
There we go. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you all, and a happy New Year.